Hello. So, how was your day gone today? How about your day yesterday? You say they're all alike. Well, actually, they're probably not all exactly alike, but sometimes they seem that way, don't they? The past few days, I've been reading the life story of Jesus. I mean, the Jesus who lived on earth 2,000 years ago, the one whose life is chronicled in the Bible. And it certainly doesn't seem like every day was alike for him. Oh, I guess you could say he walked through certain broad categories in a given day or week, but still, from moment to moment, there wasn't much predictability. Take, for instance, one day that's narrated by one of the four writers who told the story of Jesus, a doctor named Luke, who was also a careful historian. The day happened to be a Sabbath day. For Jewish people, the Sabbath day, the day we call Saturday, was a holy day. It was to be their special day every week on which they did no work so they could concentrate on worshiping their God. Jesus went into the synagogue, the building devoted to the worship of God, in the town of Capernaum, in the country that today is called Israel. I have visited the place where Jesus went to worship that day. It is a beautiful sight that overlooks the Sea of Galilee. Wherever Jesus went, the people expected him to teach them about God because, as Luke says, his message had authority. So he sat down and began to teach. Today, speakers normally stand up when they are ready to teach, but teachers sat down to teach in those days. So far, it was a normal Sabbath, but suddenly it wasn't so typical. Luke wrote, "In the synagogue there was a man possessed by a demon, an evil spirit. He cried out at the top of his voice, 'What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God.' 'Be quiet,' Jesus said sternly. 'Come out of him.' Then the demon threw the man down before them all and came out without injuring him." The entertainment industry has made much in recent years of demons, exorcisms, witches, vampires, black cats, and Friday the 13th. But if you can, put those images out of your mind as we think about this demon who approached Jesus here in the Gospel of Luke. There was, in those days, 2,000 years ago, widespread belief in demons or evil spirits. Belief in demons was not native to Judaism. Instead, it was a part of many cultures around the Mediterranean world. Demons were said to inhabit deserts, large bodies of water, the air, and graveyards. When they entered a person, they were considered to be the cause of blindness, muteness, and all kinds of physical problems and mental disorders. Since demons come from the supernatural world, it's not surprising that this one recognized Jesus as a person of God, and therefore an opponent of all forces that hurt, cripple, or oppress human life somehow. But of course, all this seems very primitive to an enlightened 21st century person. Still, our disbelief in demons has not reduced the amount of personal and corporate evil in the world. The names of the enemies have changed, but the battles still rage. Apparently, it was Jesus' authoritative teaching that stirred the demon in a man present in the synagogue. The powerful word of Jesus as he told the demon to be silent and depart was enough to overcome the demon. Luke goes on to say, "All the people were amazed and said to each other, 'What is this teaching? With authority and power he gives orders to evil spirits, and they come out.'" Once that was over, Jesus' day returned to a little more calm schedule, at least as we would see it. After synagogue worship was over, he went to Peter's home of one of his faithful followers, where he healed Peter's mother-in-law of a high fever. As the day wore on, more and more people brought to Jesus all who had various kinds of sickness, and Jesus healed them. From our perspective, this was far from a normal day, but for Jesus it was. His ministry was to teach and to heal, and he did both throughout the day. Tune in to this same station on this same day and hour next week when we open our Bibles and learn about more encounters with Jesus. Those encounters changed people hundreds of years ago, and they will change you today.